animals, some friendly, pet.
Louis Vuitton is a kind of expensive luggage and clothing line. They use parts of alligators for that, and he lives with my two other alligators, Gucci and Dooney and Burke.
Silly Safari's alligator Aaron brought not only his pet alligator, but also a baby snake for the Huntingburg children to pet during the summer reading program. So let's listen in as Aaron relates some facts about his pet snake.
A dog?
Bailey, a bunny rabbit.
She's a constrictor. She is not a boa constrictor. What? She's a python. Yes, Prince. Biggest snake in the world is a... Oh, we got all these things yelling out. I can't tell what anybody said. Rachel, biggest snake in the world is a... Python. A python, yes, but what kind of python? No, this is a Burmese python. This is a Burmese python, and she's about a third of the way grown. She's about 8 feet long. She can get to be over 24 feet long when she's through growing. And she'll weigh not 60 pounds like she does now, Madeline, but Jacob, she'll weigh over 300 pounds. What does Anna do now? She used to sit behind me in the biology class. Frank, she had the prettiest green eyes. Anna, what does she live here?
Tiles, the female python incubates her 100 or so eggs. She pushes them into a pile, coiling her body around them and resting her head on top. She may remain this way for as long as 80 days, leaving only for occasional drink of water.
Here, but some on this side, Madeline. She'll be like a big old giant seatbelt to hold you up on that cooler. Here she comes. Oh, Jacob, you got her? You all watch her tail. Jacob, she's going to use her tail to hold on to you. Okay? Jacob, she'll loop her tail around your leg or around your back. Anacondas are the heaviest snakes. They get really wide. And they're long, they're about 20 feet long. But like I said, the Burmese python gets over 24 feet long. The longest snake is a reticulate python. They found those over 33 feet long. Big snake. Now, is there a snake big enough to eat a person?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wait. Is there a snake big enough to eat little people like you all?
Yes.
Is there a snake big enough to eat adult people?
Yes.
No. All that stuff you see on the internet and stuff? No. Don't believe that. Friends, snakes' jaws can open really big, but they've not found a snake that's big enough to open their jaws wide enough to swallow a person's shoulder, an adult's shoulder. So, maybe the snake can kill a person, but not swallow them. And some snakes are venomous, so they can kill a person with their venom. Some snakes are just strong and powerful, can wrap around. And what kind of snake did you say she was? A constrictor, those are the snakes that squeeze their food and suffocate their food before they eat it. She's crawling. She's crawling. She's a python, like we said, friends. And listen now, you guys need to pet her, don't you?
Yeah!
Well, let's try to do this the best way we can. I need somebody to help me.
For WJTS 27 minutes, this is Tony Frigg.
You're good with the animals. What's in your house? Oh.
So I get a lot of calls from people who call the zoo and try to get their animals to the zoo.
Well, at the Jasper Library, we noticed that there was quite an assortment of books on reptiles as well as the visitor. We also noted a
I would say we ended up with about 160 people in here to see Blake Beekline with the Jasper Reptile Center. So I think pet photo contest, and what that was for was the people brought in their pictures of their pets, and we've been taking money as a donation, and all the money that we do raise will go to the Du Bois County Humane Society, and we will choose 2 winners. Each winner will get a certificate from one of the pet stores here in Jasper. So we're about to ready to wrap that up.
Does anybody have any questions about anything? Yeah.
What's your favorite animal?
The hard one.
Pre-registered. I think we have just a few openings left. If anyone's interested, they can call the library for information, because that does start in February, or we have another session in March, and so that'll run for 5 to 10 weeks.
Say that my favorite is probably this guy, because I raised him from a baby, and it's really hard to do. Chameleons, they're not the best pets to have because they don't like to be handled a lot.
And then also in the month of February, on each Saturday, the Jasper High School Key Club children. Plus, we'll usually try to have some other kind of program to bring kids in here during spring break.
Alligators eat all kinds of things. They
Project is the summer reading program. Our theme this year is Bound for Books, and that's always an exciting part of our year, is the summer reading program.
It's the other side of the river, so you'd have to run down there and go to the other side, and then you swim back across. And finally, I just got a little kayak and got in the river with him.
And also, we will be having our famous magician back again, Don Baggett. He's another one that we can guarantee he'll have big crowds, because he's an excellent magician, and so he'll be here again this summer.
impossible to just hang on. So I was hanging on one hand with tree roots, and the other hand had a dip net, and I saw where he had submerged.
We try our best to display as many as we can so people can see them right when they come back into the children's area. And also up in the adult area, we have a very, very nice display of adult books right when you come in the front doors. In the children's, we, like I said, we try to
Make the mistake of going and buying one of these. You can go to reptile shows and even some pet stores in this area. And buy
in the real future is some computers in the children's area. We're hoping to the front to look to find a book back there, so that'll be a lot easier on people. And then hopefully children's area with some games or the internet on them. So that is our new project for the future right now.
I just don't see the point in doing it, because anybody living in town or pretty well anywhere, buying an alligator, the possibilities of it getting so huge are so likely that eventually you have to get rid of it. And zoos don't want your pets.
As much as you can, start out early. It doesn't hurt to start reading very simple books to even six-month-old or an 8-month-old, and you'll find as they get older that they just continue to want to read, and it's just a very nice quiet routine at nighttime that I think.
For WJTS 27 Minutes, this is Tony Frigg.
His name is George Schricker. He's from Plymouth, Indiana. Stories and poems to children and adults since 1982. Mr. Schricker has written over 500 songs. Give him a big round of applause, George Schricker.
Books, even songwriters find them interesting. In fact, songwriter George Schricker checked the contents of a few books himself while visiting the Jasper Library for his summer reading program. No reason, certain books caught his eye. Including trips to the Film Museum in Chicago, Indianapolis Children's Museum, Indiana Historical Society, and over 3,000 Midwestern schools. Besides his artist residencies and teaching on writing, he has written a number of songs and has a number of CDs out. And so what's on George's agenda for this day?
About animals. We're going to be talking about animals. I also will get an idea and then we'll research it, which is interesting because I was just looking at this book on Hank Williams, and he wrote his song Jambalaya, which I like so much, and he wrote it and he did research for it, and it's very similar to the kind of research I do. I'll write a song. The Field Museum in Chicago asked me to write a song about worms, and sometimes I'll do a lot of research about, worms are invertebrate and different things about worms, and then I will work very little of that knowledge into the song, but it will have been a kind of jumping off point for me.
To introduce that song,
it was my worm Charlie. I kept Charlie. He was a big earthworm, a big fat earthworm, and I kept him there. I fed him a little bit of garbage every once in a while, and he loved living under my bed. I had him for 2 or 3 weeks, I think, under my bed like that, and sometimes I take him out for walks.
this song needed a few movements and some volunteers.
This is a very factual, you can look all this stuff up in the encyclopedia if you want to look up and study worms. You can see a lot of this stuff is very factual in this song. I get a lot of my ideas from encyclopedias, and you can see this is kind of an encyclopedic knowledge of worms here. Worms are happy most all the time. Perhaps it's 'cause they're covered in slime, or maybe it's 'cause they don't wear shoes. It could be that they love to eat dirt, or they rarely get their feelings hurt. Or maybe it's because they can grow their heads back if they get cut off by a shovel. Ready? Here we go. Here's Charlie's part. I said, worms, they love to play. They giggle and they squiggle and they wiggle away. Worms, crawling down below. Look at them twist and look at them go. Worms, stretching their skins. First they're out and then they're in. Worms in the garden bed. Which is the tail? Which is the head? I said worm. Very good. Let's give them a nice hand. They're doing a good job. We'll go with it. Now, how many of you think worms are happy? How many of you think worms are sad? This is a verse for those who think worms might be sad. Worms are sad as sad can be, 'cause they can't ride bikes or climb big trees, and they grow up young and scared, worrying about the early bird. Or maybe they're afraid of a fisherman's hook, plopping them in a nearby brook. Or maybe they're just afraid of severe dehydration on the beach. Right, here we go! I said worms, they love to play. They giggle and they squiggle and they wiggle away. Worms, crawling down below. Look at them twist and look at them go. Worms, stretching their skins. First they're out and then they're in. Worms in the garden bed. Which is the tail? Which is the head? I said worm. Okay, last time through, here we go. Stand in back of the other and have the thumbs meet and grab them and then do this.
Purposefully researched, although I basically knew it. I wanted to integrate words like metamorphosis and interval. So I got a lot of books out. I looked at them, and I didn't. It's a way to know what you don't want to do in a way too. You see how everybody's approached it, and then you think, wait a minute, here's how I want to approach it. So. Butterfly, 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 bee. And now we bow to each other. Bee, 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 bee. Here's how I want to approach it. So I approached that particular song, Butterfly, as a kind of love song between two of the butterfly prior to its being, sort of falling in love even in the egg state, kind of, and obviously that's anthropomorphizing. I'm attributing human characteristics, but I think that's done all the time by songwriters. It's a way to get you involved in this song.
Face each other. Face each other. You gotta face each other, guys. Here we go. Butterfly, 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 bee. Interesting do-si-do. Butterfly, 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 falsetto. Bee. Now you gotta put your butterflies up over your head and fly. I'm just an egg stuck to a stem, and I know you're there and that you're a him. Won't be long before we hatch and grow. We'll practice metamorphosis, I will spin our chrysalis. Watch out world, you're all in for a show. Get ready, here we go! 'Cause we're butterfly, 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 bee. Bow! Bee, 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 butterfly, 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 bee. Go ahead, fly.
Movement is a very integral part of George's songs.
Anyway, so I thought this was exciting stuff, so I decided to read another page. Can you put your fingers like this? I went. My storytelling method concentrates on gestural language, so making gestures and using our whole bodies. There's a big emphasis on that in my work, and so I'm very interested in how that is kind of a lost, something lost out of the culture in a sense, that kids don't necessarily do that as much as they used to, and that it's a unifying thing to do play acting of some kind or another.
The squirrel. Squirrel, 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 squirrel.
The principles I use, though, are very structural, so they're learning principles of writing and composition and those kinds of things through their body movements, and so it becomes. Can be led through a series of gestures dealing with someone who knows the concepts. In other words, they can basically mirror the gestures of someone who understands the concepts, and this will help them to actually understand the concept themselves. When they test on it, they will be able to understand it. But some kids literally have to get their bodies in motion to do that, and it's
Sitting up, he raised his head, he tipped his cap, he got out of bed, he said, ooh, ooh, doodly-doo, yeah, ooh, ooh, doodly-doo, yeah, ooh, ooh, doodly-doo, I said, ooh, ooh, doodly-doo.
We learn it, we forget it, but usually knowledge that you learn with your body, you will not forget. And so it really helps with long-term, sequential kinds of memory that you need for complex problem solving.
And see if you can get it. Here we go. Face someone and see if you go. If you help me and I help you, will grow. The best that we
today of people helping people just like me and you. We're going to try it a little faster this time. Here we go, a little faster.
For WJTS 27 Minutes, this is Tony Frick.
We'll grow a whole lot stronger, do the best that we can do. And all the world over, they will feel that golden hue of people helping people just like me and you. Very good.
But these concerns did not arise overnight and can't be solved that way. There are no